I went in that room, y'all, and closed the door and lost it. Welcome back to the Grown Women's Table. Hey, it's your girl Lori. Hope you guys are having a great and wonderful day. Y'all, today we're going to talk about my trying to conceive journey while dealing with perimenopause. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that while I get ready for the day. So I know you want to know more about that. So what do you need to do? Say it with me. Keep on watching. All right, y'all, run, grab your chairs, and have a seat at the Grown Women's Table, and let's get into this video, okay? So today we are going to do a get ready with me, and we're going to talk about my trying to conceive journey while dealing with perimenopause. And I don't feel like people are talking about this. I don't really see a lot of conversations about it, but I know a lot of women are going through it. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys my story and let you know what I went through, how I went through it, and how it ended. So the items that I'll be wearing on my face will be in the description box. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of like put it up on the screen so you can see it. All right. So let's get into it. So I'm coming from a perspective of someone who has already gone through the journey and letting you know what to expect, kind of depending on what your outcome is. Just to give you a little backstory, I was diagnosed with perimenopause at I was either 31 or 32. I was very, very young. And back then, I really didn't know any information about it. I really did not have a lot of people to like talk to me about this. I really didn't even know what it was, if I'm honest with you. So what I wanted to kind of talk about is, it's like I went through a few different stages. I went through a stage of hope. I went through a stage of denial and depression. And then I went through a stage of acceptance and then blessings. I'm going to say blessings. So I just kind of want to go through the stages with you guys. So like I said, I was like very early 30s. And of course, my husband and I definitely wanted to have a kid. Like everybody around me, when I say there were kids being born around me every day, yeah, it was kids everywhere. And of course, you know, we were a young married couple. Well, actually, we had been married at that time 11 years. So we had been married 11 years. So we had been trying to conceive, of course, but did not have any idea as to what was going on. Now, one thing I did deal with was endometriosis. So I did have endometriosis. And if you guys want a story about that, I can give you a separate video and let you know about endometriosis and what it is, how I found out about it, that I even had it, and the after effects. But that was something that I was dealing with. So when we moved to North Carolina, my cycle started acting a little cray-cray, y'all. So it started to come whenever it wanted to come. No rhyme or reason, right? And of course, your girl was trying to get pregnant. So I'm thinking, oh, we must be pregnant. But, you know, we wasn't. So I eventually decided to go to the doctor to find out. Well, let me go back, because I was going to a doctor. I had a female doctor that I was going to. And every time my cycle would not come, she kept saying was I stressed out? And I kept telling her, I'm not stressed out about it. And at that time, y'all, I was not stressed out about anything. And she would give me a little pill, make my cycle start. So, you know, we would go through it, and it was random. It wasn't like once every other month. It maybe once every 3 or 4 months type of situation. So after going through that twice, I decided to go to a different doctor because I just felt like she didn't know what she was talking about. So I went to a different doctor. He did a blood test, came back, no bedside manner at all. Came back to let me know I was in premature menopause and I would never have kids. Basically, y'all, that's how he told me. So doctors really need to have better bedside manner. But I was not trying to hear that, child. I'm too young for this. He talking foolishness. So that's where hope comes in, y'all. When I say hope, I just had so much hope. I just knew that my body would do what my body was supposed to do because my cycle was still showing up. So I just knew my body was going to do the job. And then, of course, I also am a believer in the Lord. And when I say I was praying, y'all, I was praying. I was praying and fasting and believing God for, now we're going to call it a miracle baby child. Because, you know, the doctor done told me I ain't going to have no baby. So this baby going to be a miracle baby. And God going to bless me. And that's exactly how I felt. And you guys, it was so weird because I want to say I was in this fasting, praying thing for over a year. And I just was, you know, really believing God for a baby. Even, y'all, it's so funny because even like my mother-in-law was telling me position. It was, I mean, everybody was being so helpful and encouraging me and helping me and believing God with me and just, you know, giving me things to do and, you know, but we still not having no baby. We still not having no baby. But then not understanding, not only are we not having a baby, but now I'm dealing with premenopause symptoms. And if you know anything about menopause, honey, my attitude, my tolerance level went to 0. So everything just was just even worse, you know? So I'm steady believing God that we're going to have a baby. Well, I went from hope, you guys, and I was hoping so much to where I was in denial. Now, looking back, I can tell I was in denial. But at that time, I did not know that's what it was. And I was depressed. I was going through denial and depression. And every month, you guys, when I would have a cycle, it would be devastating. Devastating to me. And I also, and this is something I want to say too, do not suffer in silence. I suffered in silence. A lot of people did not even really understand, or a lot of people might knew I wanted to have a baby, but people did not know how hard it was for me because I didn't really talk about it like that. You know, I didn't talk about the pain, the hurt, the depression, the disappointment, the feeling like a failure. I didn't talk to people about that. I kind of like kept that in. And the reason why I'm sharing all this with you, because I know it's someone going through what I went through. Don't suffer in silence. It is okay. It is okay to let people in and let them know how bad you're really hurting. And another part of denial is this. By me being in denial, I kind of missed out on some very some very crucial opportunities in my life, because I was absolutely by no means thinking about adoption. Like, you know, that was suggested, but I was like, absolutely not, because I'm going to have my own baby and I'm not adopting. I'm going to have my own baby. And you guys, one of my sisters even offered to be a surrogate for me. And she know who she is. And I just, at that time, I was in such denial that I turned her down. I said, absolutely. I said, no, thank you. You know, I appreciate you, but no, thank you. And in hindsight, if I'm honest with you, I wish I would have taken her up on that offer. So I'm telling you this because if you're in that situation, same situation I was in, and I know that desire to want to have your own baby, but if you see that it's not working out and there are other options, don't not take the other options. And that doesn't mean you don't believe God and all that. No. But that, you know that story when they said a man is on the roof and all these different people come to try to help the man, and the man kept saying, no, God gonna save me, God gonna save me. And then when the man drowned and go to heaven, and he was like, well, God, I was waiting on you to save me. And God said, I sent this person, that person, this person, and that person, and you refused them all. So what God may be doing in your life when it comes to having a baby may not look like you think it's going to look. And I'm going to say this also. It's a roller coaster ride, y'all. It's a roller coaster ride. Because when you're going through premature menopause and you're trying to conceive, when that cycle come 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then don't come another month, and you get so hyped and think you're pregnant, that up and down, y'all, it's a lot to deal with. And I say that because that's where that depression really, you guys, that depression and anger really manifests in those times when you're on that roller coaster ride and you just know this is it. This time is the real time, right? And then it don't be. It's very hard. So it's like you get disappointed when the cycle come, and then you get your hopes up high when the cycle don't come, and then you go to the doctor or you take a test, and then you're disappointed again when it's not a positive. So, y'all, it's a hard journey. I don't think a lot of people understand how hard of a journey it is, but it really is a hard journey. That's why I'm saying do not suffer in silence. Get you someone to talk to. Find you a support group if you don't want to talk to your family or anything. Because there's a level of embarrassment to it too. I don't know if everyone felt it, but I felt it. I felt the level of embarrassment. Like, what's wrong with me? I can't even have a baby. Like, it's a level of shame and embarrassment that you feel. And at the age of 54, I'm here to tell you, someone has been through it, there's no need to be ashamed. There's no need to be ashamed. Not at all. So I struggled going through this, and I'm not going to say I'm going to say we, because we are the ones feeling it directly, but we also have spouses that are going through it as well. And I feel like that's not talked about enough. And I think I may do a whole separate get ready with me talking about how it affects the spouse. If you would like that video, put that in the comment section and I can do that as well. But so I'm not going to say me, we went through a lot. It was a very hard process, you know. But then at some point, you got to get to the point of acceptance. Now, this acceptance is for the women who have found out they are in perimenopause and you see that you're not able to naturally conceive. At some point, acceptance has to come for you to either decide to adopt, surrogacy, but you have to get to that point of acceptance, like, hey, this is just not working out for me. And if I want a kid, I'm gonna have to go a different avenue. So for me, I remember, y'all, my acceptance day was insane. So at the house we lived in, we had a extra room. And I would go in that room and pray, and that was just the room I would go in just to be by myself. And, you know, we kind of all shared the room. Well, one day, honey, acceptance had hit the door. My cycle, I think my cycle had came. And that day, it was so overwhelming. It was like a grief. It was like anger. It was sadness, frustration, disappointment. Like, it was a whole lot combined in one. And I went in that room, y'all, and closed the door and lost it. Like, I had it out with the Lord. I was so angry. I was so upset. I was crying uncontrollably. Like, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. My acceptance, I don't know about nobody else's, but my acceptance process wasn't pretty. And I cried and I yelled and I screamed at the top of my, to the point where my husband actually came in the room like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "Yeah, close the door." And after I did all of that, y'all, I just fell. I was, when they say prostrate, like I was just on the floor. And I just got to the point where I just said, "Lord, your will be done. I'm tired of fighting against this. If it's not your will for me to have a child, Lord, just strengthen me to be able to accept it." And y'all, that was the hardest thing I think I've ever done, as far as, one of the hardest things. To really just say, "Lord, I surrender. I'm tired of being in pain. I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of disappointment. Lord, just strengthen me for your will." And he did. It didn't happen overnight, but when I got to that point of acceptance, when my cycle came or did not come, because eventually it just stopped coming, because I ain't had a cycle in like over 20 some years. Probably, yeah, about 20 some years. And it wasn't that pain that I would feel. You know, I wasn't hurting. I wasn't depressed. I would be still sad. I would still be a little hurt, but the level from being devastated on this level to, it would go down. It wasn't overnight. It would just go down. But I started to accept it, and it helped me tremendously. And I'm not going to say that all was well, because all was not well. Mother's Day, I would cry. And I would have them, "Oh, why me? Whoa, why I didn't have no babies? Oh, Lord." I had to, and this is something I do want to talk about. I had an imposter syndrome to motherhood. And what I mean by that is, I raised my sister, so God allowed me to raise a child. And then once she became an adult, I then raised her son. So I had the experience of motherhood, but there is a level of imposter syndrome that goes along with that. And I could talk about that in another whole video, because that's a whole lot to talk about. So that's a part of the blessing. God did bless me to experience motherhood. Like, I had my sister since she was, I think, 7 or 8, and me and my husband raised her. And then when she had her son, we had her son from the age like 6 weeks until just recently, last couple of years, and he's 17 now. So I had that, I'm looking in my other mirror, my bad. I had that experience. So that was the blessing. God still blessed me to be able to have that motherhood experience. So that was a blessing. And also the other blessing was not hurting as much, not hurting. It's a painful thing. Because when you are in a situation where everybody like, we got kids in our family, y'all. When I say we got kids, we got kids. So when you see everyone having kids, like it's nothing, and you over here literally doing back flips in crazy positions to try to have one. And y'all, I've never been pregnant. Never. It was so funny because I had got a new OB, and he was so amazed at my cervix, y'all. He was like, "Huh." I'm like, that was funny to me. Never, ever have I been pregnant. Like, it was never a false pregnancy, a miscarriage, nothing. I've never been pregnant. And so I was blessed to still be able to experience motherhood, And I want to say this to those who are in the thick of it. And I know it seems like this is the hardest thing you will ever go through, which it may be, and this disappointment will never end. It will end. You will either be blessed to give birth, or you will be blessed to mother somebody else's child. So it is an ending. You might not get the ending the way you want it, because we all want to have our own kids. If it doesn't happen that way, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But get to a point of acceptance, because it will help lessen that pain that you're going through, that disappointment every time that cycle come or don't come. And just ask God to strengthen you. I could not have made it without God. I don't know what you believe in, if you believe in anything, but me personally, I could not have made it without God. If God did not strengthen me, honey, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even know. I don't know where I would be. And I'm just keeping it real. So, and I do also want to talk about one more thing I didn't even put on my list. Set boundaries for yourself. Because when you're especially when you're married, honey, when you're married, people will start asking you, when y'all gonna have kids? When you gonna have kids? That question I got a lot. And you just have to let people know that whenever God bless me, and be done with it. I don't want to be asking no questions. And I feel like if you say it in a nice, nasty enough way, they're not going to ask you no more. Because I feel like that's rude. If a couple hasn't had a child yet, why are you asking when they're going to have one? Like, that's kind of rude. Because you do not know people's situations. Some couples may not even want a kid. They may not want to have children, But if you know, hold on, y'all. No. If you may think, oh, maybe they do want to have a kid, don't ask them that. Like, don't ask a person that. That's rude. Just in case you didn't know. Now you do. She cute. And the other part of the blessing is this, which I know if you're going through this, you ain't trying to hear this, and you don't even think this is a blessing. But for me to be able to sit here at the age of 54, turn on this camera and talk to you and give you my experience, I would not be able to do that had I not gone through it. And a lot of times we go through things not just for ourselves. And that's why I'm telling you, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of. And when you share your story, it could be a blessing to someone else. And I'll let them understand and see that, one, you're not the only one. Because in my situation, like I said, it was so many people having kids. And literally, it was just me. At one point, it was me and someone else. But then they eventually had kids. Then it was just me. Without any children. Everybody in my immediate circle had kids but us. Yeah. So, I'm doing this video so you can know you're not the only woman that had to go through this. And you're not the last, So, don't be ashamed of your story, your journey. It's my prayer that God does bless you and you're able to have a kid naturally. That is my prayer for you. But if it does not work out that way, you're still a woman. That's something else that I struggle with. Feeling like, it's a hit to your womanhood, honey. Like, I'm not even woman enough to have a kid. Like, what is going on? You're still a woman. And just because you don't birth the child, if you adopt a child or have a surrogate, you're still a mother. Because there are plenty of mothers out here who birth kids and they ain't mamas. So just because they ain't come out your woo-ha boo-boo, you still a mama. So don't allow those thoughts that will creep into your mind to settle up and, make residency in your mind. No, the thoughts will come through. I know they will, but you have to cast them out because it's not true. Now, did I know that when I was going through? No. But I know now, and that's why I'm telling you. It's not true. You are a woman. You are a whole woman. And also, a part of accepting, once you accept the situation, it gives you the okay to get help. And what I mean by that is, which is something I wish I would have done back then, go to counseling. I feel like that would have been so beneficial for me, counseling, because I was going through. And what you have to understand is you're going through because you're trying to conceive, but then you're also going through because maybe you in menopause. You're dealing with all of the emotional changes and the hormone changes and that you're going through just with menopause. Like women who go through menopause just regularly struggle. Now you are going through it at an age where you're not supposed to be going through it according to society, and you're trying to conceive. Girl, go to counseling. I'm telling you, you need it and it's okay. And I think that would be a really beneficial thing for you to do, because you will be able to get a professional to help you navigate through some of that. Because I'm telling you, you have very, what's the word? Our minds going through that. My mind, I'm just saying my mind. My mindset going through that was battling against me. Like my mind, ooh, y'all. My mind was tearing me down. Like I didn't have no one in my life tearing me down, but my own mind, my own thoughts were tearing me down. And of course, like I told you before, I was suffering in silence, so I wasn't letting nobody know what was going on. But my mind was playing, tricks on your girl. And I feel like I've always been a very confident woman. But honey, that had me very insecure. I was extremely insecure about that. Like extremely. And the thoughts that would come through my mind, which were a lie, but go to counseling. That's all I'm going to say. Go to counseling, because it's okay if you go to counseling. Counseling will be beneficial. And I want to say, I did not make this video to discourage you. I made this video to help you, because however it turns out for you, which I pray that you're able to have a baby. I pray that you're able to have a baby. Whoever's watching this, I pray that you're able to have a baby. But if you can't, it's still going to be okay. You will make it through. You will be okay. So this is not a video just to say, just give up. I'm not telling you to give up. Because God can do whatever he wants to do. In my situation, and in a lot of other women's situations, it didn't work out that way. But I don't feel like there's enough videos out here talking about that part of it, because that is a big reality. So I'm not trying to discourage you by any means. I'm just trying to give you a realistic viewpoint on what it could also be. You know what I'm saying? It could be you can have a baby, and then it could also be that you won't be able to naturally have a child. And I just want to let you know that it'll be okay. And you are a full woman. And if you have a baby or a child that you get to raise, you get the honor of raising, you are a real mama. I think I am going to do a video about that. But you are a real mother. All right, y'all, so we almost done getting ready. And I think I am going to go ahead and give you guys some more videos, some more Get Ready With Me's talking about the emotional part of menopause, the physical, the sexual, the spouse. Like, I think I'm gonna break it up because I just want to make sure, you have a lot of perspectives. Like, I'm so grateful that nowadays you got more people talking about it, because when I was going through it, honey, all I knew was hot flashes. So I'm gonna definitely get into menopause because I've been there, done that too. All right, y'all, we're done. Went and put on some hair. Got on a little hair now. So this is the end of the Get Ready With Me. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to come sit down, get ready with me. And I just want you to know, if you are having issues, you're trying to conceive, dealing with perimenopause, I am definitely praying for you that things work out the way that you want. And I'm also praying that God gives you the strength if it doesn't. So y'all, that is it. In the comment section, let me know, do you like these kind of videos? Do you want more of these type of me just sitting down and just kind of like telling you things about my life and what I've gone through? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget, thumbs up the video. Your girl is on the road to grow. So tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. But y'all, that is it. Everything's on my face will be linked in the description box, and those are affiliate links. So if you decide to make a purchase, please consider doing so, and it will go right back into the channel, and I appreciate you. So to all my new subscribers, I see you and I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you know what you need to do, right? Hit that button so that I can save you a seat at the Grown Women's Table. And until the next video, bye-bye.
If you need some advice or looking for an idea, just to get some tips, you can get that right here. This is Lori's life. Yeah, this is Lori's life. Yeah, check out Lori's life. Yeah, this is Lori's life.